At number 23 is LEGO Indiana Jones 2 The Adventure Continues. This was a really weird game because I was confused why this game was made in the first place. It is the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull levels, but it also has the previous movies from the first game, but the level design in this one is just so much worse than the other game. Having waves of enemies coming at you, and what's really strange is the levels aren't even in order, they're just random scenes from each of the movies at different times. So this game feels like a strange dream where you imagined a sequel to the great LEGO Indiana Jones game, but nothing makes sense and everything good about the first one is just gone. This game also throws in so many unnecessary boss fights that were not even in the movie, just to pad out time in an already short game. But the worst part of all, and what is criminal in a LEGO game, is there is no secrets or collectibles in the main story. Instead, they decided to have bonus stages, which was so bad compared to finding secrets in free play. The only saving grace in this game is the level creator, which lets you place objects in a map and try and make your own challenges. It's fun, but it's very limited and it gets old pretty fast. So at number 22 and number 21 is the LEGO Movie video game and the LEGO Movie video game 2. These are very simple levels and I didn't enjoy the combat, it was very slow feeling. It did have good characters to unlock as they were very varied. And one cool feature about this game is that pretty much everything is made out of LEGO, which does look really nice aesthetically. But overall, the game's just very average compared to every other LEGO game on this list, and it was also very short in terms of main story length, which seems to be a thing with all the movie tie-in LEGO games. And at number 20 is the LEGO Ninjago movie game. So Ninjago came out when I was in my teens, so I never really got into it and I didn't know what to expect when playing LEGO Ninjago. So I was surprised that the game had a very different style of combat, focusing on combos and skills compared to other LEGO games. The game also had a lot of parkour, though unfortunately it was more on rails than free movement. The combat and finishing moves were really great in this game, and switching between the different characters offered up a lot of different gameplay. But a major short point of the game was the puzzles, as most of the solutions was just to use a specific character's power. They all had a different power. So the length of the game was also a problem, as it starts out great, actually I was really enjoying it, and just ends up very disappointing final levels. Which is a theme with some of the major LEGO games here actually. And at number 19 is LEGO Harry Potter Years 5 to 7. Okay, this game was so disappointing to me because I love the Harry Potter series and I played it right after playing Years 1 to 4, and everything I loved about the first game was changed or gone. The levels had a lot less creativity and the spells were all taken away at the start, which is a trope I hate in video games in general. And there was this one water spell that was used so many times to solve puzzles, it's ridiculous. It wouldn't put out fires unless you put the water in the bucket first, so it just padded out time when you had this water spell to put out fires. It was just a mess. A lot of the levels were also a lot of just tidying up and doing chores, which is never fun in a game. And it also missed key scenes from the movies. But then it gets to the Deathly Hallows movies, and the whole game just changes. The levels get great again, they get creative, but the first few movies were so dull that I'm just so surprised that so much effort went into this last two movies when there's a whole 2 other movies in this game. The combat was also changed into dueling, which is just match the colour, and was cool the first time you do it, but becomes the boss fight for almost every single level in this game, and it gets really tiring fast and there is no challenge to it. A lot of the charm is gone as well. For example, there was this pumpkin in the first game that you could put on your head and you just glide around. And it was like the Hagrid's hut. That's just gone and there's nothing to replace it. And it's like, just have that cool stuff that made the first game so great. This also could just be though because the later movies in the series were a lot darker in general, but it's a LEGO game. They can just put in charm whenever. The game's greatest strength is still its hub world. Hogwarts is incredible and one of my favourite fictional places to explore ever. And in this game they expanded it to make it even bigger and include Hogsmeade, a small part of London, the Scottish Highlands, which is where I live, and the Dark Forest. So there was so much to explore in the game. It's just a shame the main levels weren't better. At number 18 is LEGO Marvel Avengers. So LEGO Marvel Avengers is an interesting one, as it has the same problems as Indiana Jones 2, with levels being random scenes from various movies. The level design is standard LEGO formula, but the combat has a few small changes such as team combos, which act as a finishing combo move. The character selection is good as well, but since it's only the MCU, it's limited in its more creative Marvel characters. The game has many different hub worlds, with New York being the main one and others such as Asgard and the Shield base. It's a fun game, but the other LEGO Marvel games are just so much better and a lot more creative. At number 17 is LEGO Batman 3 Beyond Gotham. So LEGO Batman 3 Beyond Gotham is such a mixed bag for me, as I found a lot of the levels really boring in this game, with a small amount being great, but the hub, watchtower and lantern planets are just so much fun to explore in this game. And the amount of fun and different characters from DC Comics is amazing. The gameplay is really fun with multiple superpowers and weapons, but the story is such a letdown for me, having repetitive levels that were just not memorable at all. But apart from that, the game is great, so it's just a very mixed bag for me. So at number 16 is LEGO The Incredibles. And I was really excited to play LEGO Incredibles since I love the movies, but this game, all I can say, it was so close to being a really great game, but it has a lot of flaws. The first one being the weird idea for it being to start with Incredibles 2 and then go to the Incredibles 1 movie. I also found the combat to be slow and strange, kind of like the LEGO movie video games. The Incredibles characters also all have different powers, but nothing that any different from the LEGO DC and Marvel games. And the best characters were just the Pixar cameos, like Woody and Wall-E, but this just makes me wish it was a LEGO Pixar game instead of a LEGO Incredibles game. The best part of this game is definitely the hub world. They put so much effort into this with so many side missions and exploration. It's just a shame the main gameplay wasn't as good. At number 15 is LEGO Star Wars The Force Awakens. LEGO Star Wars The Force Awakens is a very fun LEGO game, it has some great level design and levels in general. The characters are also great, though there was a lot of random characters that I didn't care about from the sequel trilogy, and that's the problem. I'm not really the biggest fan of the sequel trilogy in general, but Force Awakens was probably my favourite of the sequels. But the combat in this game was great and makes me really excited for Skywalker Saga, so I can see how they can improve on it. The hub worlds weren't my favourite either, because the idea of multiple planets was really cool, but I didn't like many of the new locations anyway, apart from the really great Starkiller base. The level design of this game was pretty much perfect, and it's one of the best to play co-op since the characters have many different abilities that they get to use throughout the levels, and the third person shooting sections was just such a great idea, and I'm glad they're using that in Skywalker Saga again because it was great. It's no complete Saga of Clone Wars, but it's still a goddamn good LEGO game. At number 14 is LEGO Marvel Superheroes. This game is perfect for any Marvel fan, as it's an insane amount of characters ranging from the well-known Marvel characters to the more obscure Marvel characters that you wouldn't have heard about. It's a really fun single-player story, a great hub world being New York City, and it's really fun to explore with lots of fun side missions. But the main problem I have is that most of the playable characters don't have a lot of powers or abilities compared to the later superhero LEGO games. Major point being, Spider-Man doesn't wall climb, he just sticks to a wall, and a lot of characters just have like one ability instead of multiple, but apart from that, it's a really great game, and I think I would rank it higher just if I preferred Marvel over DC, because there is always a bias with these LEGO games and which franchise you like more will be your favourite of the LEGO games. So I do prefer DC more than Marvel, even though I am a fan of Marvel, but I'm just a much bigger fan of DC, so I think I just naturally enjoy the LEGO DC games a bit more. At number 13 is Lego Hobbit. I didn't expect to like Lego Hobbit, since I didn't like the Hobbit movies at all, but I do love the world of Middle-earth, and this game has some surprising variations to the Lego formula with a unique item crafting mechanic making weapons and objects from materials found in the game. This adds a lot of fun switch-ups to the gameplay. I was a little disappointed in the characters this time, however, as while they improved in the designs of the characters from Lego Lord of the Rings a lot, they didn't feel that different from each other in gameplay wise. The game was very short as well, but there was a lot of extra stuff to find and collect in this game. Exploration is definitely the best part of this game, and just being able to step into Middle-earth again was so worth it. There's so much to explore and so much great stuff in this open world exploration. I loved it. At number 12 is Lego Batman 2. Now, Lego Batman 2 has one of the best open world Gothams in any game ever. It looks just like the perfect mix between Batman the Animated Series and the Batman comics. There's a really great cast of characters from DC Comics, but the story for me had some great levels, but also had some of the worst levels in any Lego game for me. Mostly anything to do with LexCorp. I just found those levels incredibly boring. But the open world in this game is so good, having so much extras to find, and you get to find the villains in Gotham and unlock them by doing a small boss fight. That's such a great idea. The game also has the experience of choosing a vehicle in the Batcave and driving or flying through the woods into Gotham. No cutscenes, just full control, something that no other Batman game strangely has. Number 11 is Lego Jurassic World. Now, Lego Jurassic World feels like a modern version of the old style of Lego games. No characters have any really crazy abilities, and the levels are a lot more classic feeling. Combat is also not a big part in this game, and that's honestly fine, since so many other Lego games have a heavy focus on combat, which means there's a lot more puzzle focused, which is a nice change of pace. This game also includes all 4 of the Jurassic Park movies and lets you play as some of the dinosaurs, which is just awesome. And navigating the hub world parks is also a treat for any fan of the Jurassic Park movies. At number 10 is Lego Marvel Super Heroes 2. This game mixes the MCU style with the traditional Marvel comics perfectly to create a very fun and enjoyable game that has a few flaws. But the characters in this game are some of the best there is. There's so many creative and funny characters with awesome gameplay and design. The story is great and original with fun sections and bosses. Everything about this game is great apart from one thing, the hub world. So what they tried to do here is make multiple small worlds and mesh them together into one big one, but the execution was pretty bad as the hub world feels like one big mess. They succeeded with this execution with LEGO DC Supervillains, but here it didn't work. But that doesn't take away from the other amazing stuff this game has, and it's so much fun to play and so comic book feeling. At number 9 is LEGO Indiana Jones The Original Adventures. This game is a perfect LEGO adventure game and a classic for so many people who played this as a kid, which I actually didn't, as this was my first time playing this and it still holds up. The level design is great, the character roster is quite small but has all your favourites from the movies. It's very faithful to the movies in terms of gameplay. The only problem I had was that the final few levels are a massive disappointment to the rest of the game. We're one of the most underwhelming bosses ever in any game. But apart from this, this game is just a classic, and it definitely didn't need a sequel that ruined the previous levels. Number 8 is LEGO Batman 1. This is one of my most nostalgic games ever, so I definitely have some bias towards it. However, this game has my favourite Batman character designs from any of the LEGO Batman games. It's so true to the comics, yet still manages to be its own thing. Each level has a fight against Batman's rogue gallery. The game's design and atmosphere is incredible, and it's hard for me to find it in any other game. The music is amazing, the look and feel of the whole game is also amazing, and getting to play as the villains as their own campaign, parallel and also as a prequel to Batman and Robin's campaign, was one of the greatest game designs in any LEGO game. I will definitely say the vehicle sections in this game are awful, and free play was very disappointing as all puzzles need a Batman or Robin suit, so you don't really get to play as the character, because you need to keep switching back to Batman and Robin. But this game made me a fan of Batman and DC Comics, which has led me to become a fan of so many different things, so I will always rate it highly just for that. And it also introduced me to LEGO Killer Moth. And number 7 is LEGO Star Wars The Clone Wars, and this game is so underrated it hurts. They made one of the most action-packed, creative level designs, and funnest combat in any LEGO game, and no one talks about this game. This is an incredible game. They made the flying sections in a LEGO game fun. They made the proton bombs, the thing I despised the most in LEGO Star Wars The Complete Saga, fun to use. It had seamless aerial to ground combat and an RTS Star Wars mode in a LEGO game. It's absolutely amazing. The only problem with this game is the last levels rely a lot on the RTS, but there is a choice in which level you do, so the order of levels is by choice. Yet this is still a massively underrated game and it's a hidden gem. And I really hope the RTS gameplay comes back in future LEGO games. Maybe it'll come back in Skywalker Saga. At number 6 is LEGO City Undercover. This game is what people say is kids GTA, and this is a fair comparison to make, but it has a great original story and had the disadvantage of not being based on a pre-existing franchise, but it succeeded as it's a really funny game. The humor is really on point here, and the LEGO City is so much fun to explore and find places that you might have had as LEGO City sets. Chase McCain gets so many different costumes that give him different abilities, and there's a lot of references to famous movies from Shawshank Redemption and Alien. It's a really, really great game that I also feel is very underrated and should just get more praise in general. And number 5 is LEGO Lord of the Rings. Open world, Middle Earth with tons of collectibles is all I need to say for someone to play this game. But if you want more, how about great levels staying entirely faithful to the Lord of the Rings trilogy, great action combat, and the movie score soundtrack is breathtaking, especially the Shire theme, it's absolutely magical. The character selection is great as well, but the best part of this game is the massive, large-scale battles that are beautifully done and some of the most fun you can have in any LEGO game. And number 4 is LEGO DC Supervillains. This game oozes with style from the moment you enter the main menu with the Joker and the Thief song playing in the background. And you get in this game my favourite LEGO story based entirely on your own designed character who can absorb powers, and you get to go to so many fun locations in this game, and the gameplay is LEGO at its best so far. The character creation is very detailed, letting you create or recreate characters very easily, and choosing and customizing all their powers from color to style to damage. There's so much customization. Every character in this game has so much detail and care on how they play and how they look. The DLC in this game is also fantastic, having the Batman the Animated Series characters and Young Justice. The hub world is what Marvel Super Heroes 2 tried to do with mixing smaller hub worlds into one, but it works so much better here, and there's a reasonable amount of space between Gotham and Metropolis. And they traded bigger for smaller hub worlds that have much more detail than ever before, and it's so worth it. At number 3 is LEGO Harry Potter Years 1 to 4. One word to describe this game would be magical. It made me feel like I was a kid playing this game again. It has so much charm in every single thing and place in Hogwarts. The music, the look, it's all amazing. The magic is so much fun to use. Walking and discovering each new area of Hogwarts is a feeling that can't be replicated. I hope the new Harry Potter RPG can make me feel like this again, but right now this is the greatest Harry Potter experience you can get, has some of the best co-op in any LEGO game, and has some really great boss battles that is surprising. And me and my friend played this for so long, finding so many funny secrets and glitches. This is just an incredible game. And at number 2 is LEGO Pirates of the Caribbean. LEGO Pirates of the Caribbean is one of the most underrated LEGO games ever. No one ever talks about this masterpiece, and I said it. This game, to me, is a masterpiece. I think this game is perfection in every single level in this game. It's so much fun, it never gets boring, and the boss fights get better as the game goes on, compared to other LEGO games where it got worse towards the end. This game also has the best secrets in any LEGO game, having secret parts of the level which are out of bounds that you have to get to, a great and varied cast of characters with really fun abilities. One of my favourite game mechanics is being able to go underwater in any game, and I love water in video games. I don't know why, but I do, and in this game there's so much to explore underwater with characters, making free play an absolute joy to play. I also love the Pirates of the Caribbean franchise, which may cause some bias, but even if you don't love the franchise, I think you will still enjoy this game, and it's a real shame no one talks about it. So, number 1 is LEGO Star Wars The Complete Saga. I'm sure everyone thought it would be this, the classic masterpiece that is LEGO Star Wars The Complete Saga. Now, this is not the best LEGO game in terms of gameplay, since it's one of the oldest LEGO games and the gameplay has been improved upon in later LEGO games, so why do I rank it at number 1? And no, it's not just because of nostalgia, because me and my friend played it and it was his first time playing the game and he agreed that it should be here. LEGO Star Wars The Complete Saga perfectly represents everything that is great about LEGO games. It has so much care and love put into it, and if you're a Star Wars fan, you will have played this game, and it may have even made people into Star Wars fans. It has so many amazing characters to play as, it has the perfect hub world, not too big, not too small, with lots to do and many cantina fights to have. Almost every level in this game is memorable, and from what I saw from your comments on my original Ranking All LEGO Star Wars The Complete Saga levels video, is that everyone has their own story and memories from playing this game. They gave us the passion for LEGO gaming as a whole, and a formula that was so good that even to this day, 14 years later, it still holds up. And honestly, in all these LEGO games I've talked about, it hasn't even changed that much. It's still such a fun formula. LEGO Star Wars The Complete Saga is the perfect LEGO game, and the best LEGO game, because it represents everything that is great about LEGO games and why they are so fun to people of all ages.